Yes, you guys, how you all doing today? I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV, and welcome to another news daily video. Now for today, I'm going to be talking about some news surrounding Frank Lampard and his appointment. Yep, it's something small that I've been told, and I thought that you guys might find this pretty interesting. I'm going to be talking about the recent appointment of Petr Cech returning back to the club. I'll be talking about the future of Marcus Alonso, and to end things, I will be talking about the interest in regards for Willian. But before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. The summer window is open and there's plenty of news coming out. Get the latest news surrounding everything that's happening in the transfer window. The One Football app is the perfect hub for this, as it links every article from across Europe. So if you guys do want to get the app, it will be in the link in the description below. Now, getting straight into things, starting with the news I'm hearing surrounding Frank Lampard. This isn't going to be a long story, it's going to be quite brief, but from everything I've been told, there will be a scheduled photo shoot happening around Monday or Tuesday. It has been booked in, and then when that's done, Frank Lampard will be officially announced as the new manager. So if anyone's still worrying whether Lampard might come, I know that things are taking a while, but there's procedures that need to happen. Don't worry anymore. Lampard will be replacing Sarri. And to end the first story, moving into the second story for the day, that's in regards to the announcement of Petr Cech returning back to the club. The inevitable finally happened. Petr Cech was officially announced today, and the club announced the title of his new role. He will become our new technical and performance advisor. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, so he's not going to be our new sporting director. What was the point of signing him if we're only going to create a new role for him? What this club desperately needs is a strong sporting director that's going to tell the board what to do and get this club back on the right track. That's not happening. But should that mean that you should be a bit worried by this appointment? I think not. It's quite normal for organizations to create different roles for areas that need filling. For example, every company these days does have their own social media department. I kind of see it as Petr Cech being a footballing consultant in that sense, and this is something we've desperately needed over the past few years. There's been a lack of real football knowledge at the top, but once I'm done covering the news, I will give my thoughts and opinions. Anyway, I do want to move on to the official statement released by the club in regards to this appointment. The club released a statement today just really explaining what Cech's new role is going to entail. The club broke down that he will be based in Cobham, and he's going to work closely with Marina, and that's the most important word here, with and not for. The club broke down that he will align with the first team coaches, staff, as well as attending games and traveling with the first team squads. And to end the club statement, and this is the most important part of the statement, he will be providing footballing advice as well as facilitating a strong link between the first team and the academy. And that's all I've ever asked for. That's all of us have wanted to see. It makes the most sense. I really want to give my opinions now, but once I finish reporting the news, then I'll do that, so just bear with me a second. Now, following this statement, Petr Cech did write that he feels excited to work for us again, and he wants to help create the best possible environment to continue the 15 years of success. Now, Marina said that she was delighted to welcome him back. He was a thoughtful and dedicated pro, and he was someone the club always wanted to have back. Now, here's where I give my thoughts and opinions. As I've said, this move is everything that I've wanted to see over the past few years. Petr Cech is that footballing consultant that we've always needed. The boards have desperately needed this, and when it comes to their business acumen, the board are amazing. They secured so many top deals for us, but whenever it comes to anything that happens on the field, they don't understand the human elements at play that stops that footballing success from being linear. Now for me, irrespective of whether you're for the youth or against the youth, common sense should prevail. Now, if you've invested a ton of money into building a state-of-the-class academy, an academy that's produced consistently high results, an academy that's passed every test they've been faced with, an academy that's won so many tournaments, league titles, and cup tournaments as well, an academy that produces so many international players as well. Now for me, it's only common sense that you're going to create that platform so all these guys can succeed. Now, you might be wondering, Why has it been so hard for this club to start incorporating more academy players in the first team squad? And there's multiple reasons as to why that's been the case. The first reason comes down to the fact that managers being ignorant in regards to the talent available in the academies. As Jody Morris himself said, most of these guys just didn't care, they had no interest, and they weren't fully invested. The second reason comes down to the fact that this club does set very strict criteria when it comes to meeting deadlines come the end of the season. Now, that's not me implying that, the boards say you have to win the Premier League or a Champions League. Of course, the goals are realistic, and because of that, those goals do have to be met. And the last reason is the fact that most of the managers we hire are careerist managers. They only care about profiting for themselves, boosting their CV, and that's another reason why they don't care about the long term, because they're not thinking about that. Still, you might be saying, well, Nini, why can't coaches speak? Why can't they man up and let the managers know, listen, you have to take strong interest in this academy player because I really feel like he's the real deal, and now is the time to give him some love and give him some opportunities. However, it's really not as simple as that. You know how bureaucracy works. If you're working and you're having an issue, are you going to go straight to the heads at the very top? No, it doesn't work like that. But now it does, because Petr's finally going to be that voice for the people whose voices aren't heard. Think about it hypothetically. Imagine you're a manager that doesn't care about youth. There's no way you're gonna dismiss Petr Cech if he asks you to come for a meeting. And really, that's the great thing about this announcement. He not only has his own personal ambitions, but those ambitions are the same ambitions that staff members have, players have, ex-pros have, etc, etc, etc. And with Lampard's imminent arrival, the club have proven that they are committed to revamp the structures behind the scenes and revamp what this club stands for. And for me, that's the type of marketing that we've desperately needed. It really is the most effective strategy for us to deploy right now. We have to accept that we're back in that rebuilding process. It's not going to be half-assed anymore. And for me, it really is a time now to be very excited about this club's new direction. Now, moving on to the third story for today, that's in regards to Marcos Alonso and reports coming out from Spain. And these reports are stating that Atletico Madrid are going to be turning down a move to try and sign Marcos Alonso because they've been priced out the market. And how much exactly has stopped them from signing Alonso on a permanent? It's 40 million. That's how much we've slapped on Marcos Alonso for some baffling reason. Like, honestly, I don't understand why you can even think that this guy's worth 40 million. The reports from Spain are saying that Atletico Madrid are turning their attentions to Alex Telles from FC Porto. The reports are saying that now that Sarri's left, Marcos Alonso is more inclined to stay right now. And for me, that's not the most sexiest news to hear. Matt Law said today in the Telegraph that one of the first tasks that Frank Lampard is going to have to deal with is the futures of Zappacosta and Marcos Alonso. Now, some of you guys might think that, Nini, it's not that hard to get rid of them, but we have to consider that there's injuries to key players right now, in particular with Reece James, and you don't want to start this season with a depleted squad that isn't fully fit. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, and the first thing that hits my mind is the fact that if Frank Lampard's coming back, and if you know that he likes to use a system that relies upon very fast fullbacks that can get in behind, stretch a play, and really help support the attack, what's Marcos Alonso going to do? Marcos Alonso can't help with that. I get it from like a squad point of view. You don't want to have numbers short in any position in the team. But when you consider the fact that when's Marcos Alonso really going to come on a very high transfer fee? It's not going to happen. I don't see any club bidding more than 40 million for him. I think a more realistic fee for the player is about 25 million pounds. I think that's fair. Marcos Alonso isn't lighting up the whole world. And it gets really frustrating because, I have heard a few things behind the scenes. I do know that, some Chelsea figures do like Jada Silva. And if Marcos Alonso is in the team, that's only going to stop him from having a place in the squads. And I'm going to end this by saying, Pete, Frank, let's hope that you guys make the right decision. Let's hope that you do bring back Jada Silva, who's doing decent for the England under-21 team. Bring him back, use him, develop him, and get rid of Marcos Alonso. And to end things with the final story for today, that's in regards to Willian and interest coming from China. Now these reports are coming out from Brazil, and they're saying that a Chinese club have made a 20 million offer, as well as offering Willian 12.5 million a year. However, Willian has turned them down. And when it comes to clubs from China being interested in our players, it's really not a new thing. I mean, the amount of clubs that have come in for Pedro and Willian in particular, it's been never ending. I do know that some clubs from there were interested in Victor Moses from last season. I'll give my brief thoughts and opinions, and really, it reminds me of something that Mikel was saying when he returned and obviously went to Middlesbrough. And he said that, yeah, the money's fantastic, it's great, but the standard of football there, the infrastructure, isn't of a high enough level for professionals. So honestly, it's best to go to China when you're considering retiring. And right now, that's one thing that Willian just isn't about. And I will respect him for that. I'll respect him for having those professional ambitions. You know, he's got a lot of ambition in himself. He has a lot of high demands, and he doesn't want to have to settle. You know, he wants to still keep playing for Brazil. He wants to still keep playing for us. And when you consider that, you know, we've got players out injured right now. We've got a transfer ban. If he goes, we can't replace anyone. It doesn't really make sense to let Willian go right now. So I stand by this. And Willian, if you're going to be here for next season, I don't know what happened last year, but I can't see any more of that. I hope you have a great pre-season. I hope you're fully fit. I hope you get mentally well. And hopefully now, because he will be able to play on the left wing, that's going to get the very best out of Willian. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to keep things moving. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, smash that like button. Help me get more than 1,000 likes for today's video. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.